For school. Oh, she said that's how I really. Let's go.
XO, let's get it.
Thanks for the slap, Ali.
These folks make a killing just on covering our pain. Crazy to think this lifestyle we live, folks gon' ever be the same. You can give it your all and it still ain't enough.
Late nights having dreams and no jump. Heard he tryna make a name, instead he got a inmate number. Fucked up out the cars with the niggas must they never shuffle. He know if he maximize his grind, then he could turn to a stunner. He mastermind getting swift, that nigga turned to a track star. First he was catching rides, then he turned to a NASCAR. I know a nigga turned 26, yeah, he still hitting licks. One thing about it, that's for sure, he finna take his jits. He know he facing 2 to 5, but he ain't no lottery pick. Quarterback the whole play on the ground, he thought he was Michael Vick. He did it all for a good cause, nigga thought he was capping it. Now he paying off lawyers and praying to get through all kind of shit. I gotta tell you the truth, cause I know you don't hear it often. I know a preacher mixed the white and green like he was from Boston. Early bird having the worm, I'm tapping in with the bosses. What you know about using margin, what you know about them losses. I'm 10X and gotta pay back an 80 piece. I'ma double down, I don't need nobody to manage me. This ain't financial advice, but I keep some XRP.
These folks make a killing just on covering our pain. Crazy to think this lifestyle we live, folks gon' ever be the same. You can give it your all and it still ain't enough.
Thanks for the slap, Ali.
I'm smoking gas in this bitch on the Twitter space. Yeah. Don't tell me you love me, that ain't the truth. Got my eyes on my paper, I need the blues. I'm sticking to the script, but we don't fuck with Tom Cruise. OG told a young nigga you gon' lose if you snooze. On coast to coast, we known for making them plays. You doing all of that hating, that nigga think he Stephen A. I can't even tell what it is, I can't even peep out his motive. I gotta keep protection on me, I ain't talking about Trojan. I can't tell you 3-4 times, I can only say once. Every time I wake up in this shit, you know I gotta go get it. I've been feeling like Master P lately, I've been having no limits. I can't commit to none of the gimmicks, I've been dodging the critics. I'm hearing snakes, hate, raps, but shit these days I can't tell. He can't come the way he want, the folks gon' give him the job. The way you want, the folks gon' give him the chill. I pour up wine, kick my feet and recline. FBI start paying weekly, niggas dropping them down. So many locked behind their cells, they can't get back their time. Come on, don't tell me you love me, that ain't the truth. Got my eyes on my paper, I need the blues. I'm sticking to the script, but we don't fuck with Tom Cruise. OG told a young nigga you gon' lose if you snooze. time on the south side. Nigga trapping, double parking, nigga going back out. Same ticket last time, nigga don't ask that. Catch me on 295, I'm swerving in the traffic. We ain't wanna take it, but we heard that you was taxing. Nigga pulled straight up to the bank with the laughter. We couldn't get on the same page of the chapter. I ain't talking sink water when I say I tout you.
I don't need an audience when I come and clap you. I can go anywhere, I just adapt, bro. House to house, nigga, I was on a blow-up mattress. Didn't worry about changing clothes, I ain't asking. I ain't bring no camera, but I'm still by that action. I be getting money, you would think I'm flipping Zaxby's. I be blowing fire, you would think I was a dragon. I been a proper nigga, still looking for the answer. Stepping with confidence, you would think that I would prancer. Swift when I'm moving, and you would think I was a dancer. Killing these niggas, and you would think that I would cancel. Rapping and dripping sauce on these bitch, they got their hands up. Know that they mad, cause they ain't think I got my bands up. Dropping these videos, I'm just trying to get my fans up. Know if he down, then on the way, I put my mans up. Always been really about my money, ain't no land up.
Time on the south side, nigga trapping, double parking, nigga going back out. Same ticket last time, nigga don't ask that. Catch me on 295, I'm swerving in the traffic. We ain't wanna take it, but we heard that you was taxing. Nigga pulled straight up to the bank with the laughter. We couldn't get on the same page of the chapter. I ain't talking sink water when I say I tout you. I can't go until I run out. Ay, we bring the sticks when the sun up. Ay, we shoot them sticks when the sun down. You ain't from here, then don't come around. Ay, these nigga hoes, that's the punchline. My dog gon' come through in the clutch time. We throwin' no foes like it's crunch time. We pouring no water like we on the sideline. It's okay, bitch, we can make a little movie. She say I'm groovy, it's Gucci, we Louis. All in her mouth like my name was Hot Chewy. She tell me she loving the flow, I'm hot cooling. You gon' just talk about my nigga, we do it. I'm in Nebraska with Savage and Ruthless. We got the packs and the pounds and the truest. I had the pounds and the PT Cruiser. That nigga cat like a 50. That nigga cat, but we with it. That nigga cat like a 50. That nigga cat, but we with it, yeah. That nigga cat like a 50. That nigga cat, but we with it. That nigga cat like a 50. Once upon a time on the south side, nigga trapping, double parking, nigga going back out. Same ticket last time, nigga don't ask that. Catch me on 295, I'm swerving in the traffic. We ain't wanna take it, but we heard that you was taxing. Nigga pulled straight up to the bank with the laughter. We couldn't get on the same page of the chapter. I ain't talking sink water when I say I tout you.
Salute. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to run this bag clip. I heard Vlad be striking niggas. So I'm going to play it sped up, and I'm going to make sure he's not on the screen. Because I don't need Vlad coming with that bullshit. So you better chill out. Let me see if I can make it even smaller. Let's see. All right, bet. So, you know, Kash Patel got his ass whooped on the floor again. I ain't see the Jasmine Crockett clip. I should have known she gave his ass that talking to. That real good stern talking to. You know, every now and then we need that little stern talking to. Yeah, he got a little stern talking to on the floor the other day. So I'm going to get to that. But I want to see what Scott Payne had to say. He's an undercover FBI agent, or he used to work undercover for the FBI. He infiltrated biker gangs, neo-Nazi organizations, satanic groups, the KKK. He did a lot. So he's been on Joe Rogan. He's been on Vlad. He's been on a couple of podcasts, kind of giving his whole little spiel. And he touches on a lot of the stuff that I've been covering when I've been digging on this whole shooter. He taps into the fact that a lot of these groups, they more focus on Jews than blacks. And he lays out that there's a difference between conservatism and right-wing identitarian politics. And I guess that's an interesting conclusion for him because I always just seen him as one and the same. But I'm gonna hear him out. So let me see if I can put something else on the screen. I am not trying to get flagged. I've just been doing pretty decent with these live streams. Let me see if I can throw something else on the screen. That's not the wave. Let me see. There gotta be a way to restructure the size. Bet, yeah, I'm finna restructure this. Shit, it's a little bit more. Maybe if I throw the screen up there. I feel like that should suffice. Hopefully, he don't come flagging a nigga immediately. But let me get my little shit off, man. I'm trying to get my numbers up.
Often you had the base, and that was pretty much it. But 2 to 3 years after that, if you're in these dark web apps like Telegram, Riot, Threema, Wire, 4chan, 8chan, 12chan, whatever they're on now, Gab, you will start seeing that the majority of white nationalist groups are now accelerating.
Hold up, what happened?
And this is scary because,
Let me back up.
but on a scale of what I'm getting ready to talk about, it's not even close. Accelerationism around 2018-19 was considered cringe by a lot of white nationalists. You had Adam Waffen, you had the base, and that was pretty much it. But 2 to 3 years after that, if you're in these dark web apps like Telegram, Riot, Threema, Wire, 4chan, 8chan, 12chan, whatever they're on now, Gab, you will start seeing that the majority of white nationalist groups are now accelerationists. And this is scary because I'll explain to you what an accelerationist is. An accelerationist does not believe there's a political solution to save the white race. They believe that society is going to collapse on its own or from man-made events, and they want to speed it up, hence accelerate it. But their belief system, they call siege culture. James Mason, who's a longtime white supremacist, wrote a book called Siege. Don't go buy it or try to, because you'll probably show up on the FBI's list. But it's basically a lot of interviews.
Google it.
Yeah, no, well, you can Google it. No, you can Google it. You know, yeah.
All right, I don't want to get
just say I'm
Scott
Scott Payne researching. Yeah. But it's called Siege, and it's basically a bunch of interviews, and he puts it together in a book. But this guy idolizes like Charles Manson, other satanic stuff. But the big thing, the shift is, look at Charlottesville. You had everybody.
So, like Scott is saying, accelerationism. These boys, they are hopeless. They tell everybody else that they play the victim. But the crux of this shit is hopelessness. The crux of this shit is hopelessness. Feeling like they've been abandoned by the establishment.
Everybody marching down the street with picket signs, yelling racial stuff. And the siege culture does not do that. The siege culture thinks that's a waste of time. You're not doing any good for anything, and you're making yourself a mark, a target. Siege culture looks at guerrilla warfare tactics. We're going to stay hidden. We're going to cause chaos through maybe you kill a lefty journalist, maybe you kill an Antifa type, non-whites, blacks, Jews, poisoning water systems, taking down power supplies, derailing trains, anything to kick off. They may have changed the terminology now, but it was called the Boogaloo. They referred to Boogaloo as the D-Day. And then you hear things like they take the scene in the Matrix of red pill and blue pill, and they use that verbiage. If you're red pilled, you're a neo-Nazi, you're an accelerationist. If you're blue pilled, then you're like, hey, what about your mom, your dad? What do they believe? Oh, they're blue pilled. They're snowed over, which is comical in its own way to me and it's sinister own way because the scene that they're doing all that based off of in Matrix is Lawrence Fishburne and Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
They're basing all their verbiage off of a black guy.
Hey, that's funny. But that's on par for the brand. That's on par for the brand. Keanu too. Shit, his little passing you know, we got to claim Jit too. You know, he be passing, but shit, we can still claim, bro.
Own way to me and it's sinister own way because the scene that they're doing all that based off of in Matrix is Lawrence Fishburne and Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
They're basing all their verbiage off of a black guy.
And a mixed guy.
And a mixed guy. All right? But I mean, just picture like militia meets doomsday prepper meets white supremacist neo-Nazi.
Well, this group, the base,
Yep.
isn't it run from Russia?
We did learn that the leader, the founder of the group, is a U.S. citizen born, Villanova grad, Army, former Army, Intel, I believe, and at some point had contracted into the Department of Justice. Originally, we'd heard FBI, but I never clarified which department, but as like an IT type. So you can look and see, okay, well, when he was in Villanova, you can see stuff he posted. He was not a radical white supremacist. What happened, I don't know. But he now resides in St. Petersburg, Russia, with a Russian wife and Russian kids.
So he runs this white supremacist hate group from Russia.
He did. He's trying to fire it back up, but we pretty much made it defunct when we took the case down.
Okay. And the base has something called hate camps.
Yeah, well, so we're always training, right? So for me to infiltrate them, they were openly recruiting online, like a lot of extremist groups do. And I answered that call, and then I answered email questions, thorough questions for about a week, back and forth, back and forth. Then I was told to download the Wire app, which is similar to like WhatsApp. You can do phone calls and stuff like that on it. And in July of 2019, I did about an hour and 15-minute panel interview with approximately 5 people. I clearly knew the leader, Ronaldo Nazzaro. I could tell which one was the leader running the thing, but I mean, I heard like some young voices on there asking me questions, you know. I went in as a former skinhead, old biker from South Carolina, and I passed the verbal test, the screening process, passed the emails, passed the panel interview, and then I was told that when I said I was out of East Tennessee, they said the closest cell, C-E-L-L, to me. Here's what's crazy. Al-Qaeda, translated to English, is the base.
Oh, okay.
Al-Qaeda's MO was 3 to 5 man cells all over the world, training, waiting for the phone call for demos. 3 to 5 man cells all over the world, training. So, coincidence? I think not. But
Hold up, I'm having a little tech difficulty. I'm finna refresh the page. But you can hear what Scott is clearly saying. He's saying that they running a three-man cell group, 3 to 5 men, um, similar to Al Qaeda, similar to Al Qaeda. That's interesting. Why are these white nationalist groups um using guerrilla warfare tactics directly from like Desert Storm type people and shit? We know about the connection with Al Qaeda. So man, it just breeds conspiracy, bro. Breeds conspiracy, and then we got to figure out what's going on with ECOWAS. Why there's so much arm trafficking in Nigeria, right? We got to figure out why there's all these illicit arms running around through the Sahel. We're trying to figure out why mercenaries is being taken out, European mercenaries is being taken out, or what they're calling European mercenaries is being taken out on the border of African countries, thousands and thousands and thousands of miles from Ukraine. That don't even make sense. That don't even make sense. We got people running up and down these borders, supplying these extremists with guns to facilitate the deconstruction of democratically elected officials. And then you want to turn around and claim, like, oh, these people they inherently are bad and they need to be ruled over. Like, you're sowing seeds of hate, you sowing division, you're literally providing arms to what they're calling uh jihadist groups, right? These jihadist organizations. We got Ukraine giving I'm gonna pull it up. Ukraine was accused by Nigeria, I mean not by Nigeria, by Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, and another country. All 4 of these countries accused Ukraine of facilitating and giving information to some jihads in Mali for them to then turn around and bust an attack. Not only that, not only that type of attack that's going on, but then about 4 months ago, we had an attack in Burkina Faso that they said was taken, that said it was executed by Al Qaeda itself. So again, bro, why is Al Qaeda in Africa? Let's start there. Why is it? Why is that? Now, this is why I was like, bro, I be watching the TV show Homeland, Homeland Security. When I'm watching the way that these people they dealing with these spies in these other countries, I see the dirty tactics and shit. I'm just like, this looks crazy. This looks like pure espionage warfare behind the guys that like USAID. They act like they coming with USAID. Hold on, let me get my laptop. They act like they dealing with USAID, and then when when they don't want USAID in the country no more, now next thing you know, oh man, 200 jihadists killed some soldiers. Oh, next thing you know, it's a new insurgent coming up. This shit is all tied to corporate interests. It's tied to imperialistic states, all that type of shit. But they want you standing up for somebody who didn't give a damn about you. Let me get my shit together. Hold on. Let me get my shit together. 'Cause I'm loading this back up. But as I was watching the clip, Candace Owens, Nick Fuentes, and as I'm watching this clip, she's doing a terrible job representing why Africa is in the state that it's in. And he's basically giving the anti-African tropes that he normally would give in a position to be in. And at the same time, I'm noticing a lot of people don't know why the state of the world is like it is. They want that it's like they pointing the finger. They doing all this research and they saying Israel this, Israel that. Oh, Israel's meddling in this country. The US is helping to meddle in this country. But then we don't take into that same thinking, that same methodology that we using to go down these rabbit holes. Motherfucker don't think, damn, I wonder why Kenya got such a nice a trade relation. Why they sending people over to Haiti?
Don't
Don't
nobody,
nobody even think about that type of shit.
motherfucker
Motherfucker
don't
don't
think,
think,
oh
oh
man,
man,
I
I
wonder
wonder
why
why
come
come
Nigeria
Nigeria
to
to
seem
seem
like the
like the
most
most
stable
stable
country in
country
the
in the
region.
region.
And
And
every
every
time
time
somebody
somebody
that's
that's
not
not
in
in
Nigeria
Nigeria
try
try
to
to
bow
blow
their
their
neck
neck
up
up
against
against
colonial
colonial
powers,
powers,
here
here
come
come
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Like
Like
it's
it's
just
just
little
little
shit,
shit,
bro.
bro.
That
That
like
like
nobody's
nobody's
really
really
talking
talking
about.
about.
You know
You
what
know
I'm
what I'm
saying?
saying?
But
But
they
they
try to
try to
act
act
like,
like,
oh
oh
man,
man,
look at
look at
Africa.
Africa.
They
They
killing
killing
and
and
dealing
dealing
and
and
stealing.
stealing.
It's
It's
like
like,
no,
no,
bro.
bro.
We
We
know what
know
the
what the
fuck
fuck
going
going
on.
on.
Same
Same
shit
shit
been
been
going
going
on
on
in
in
our
our
with
with
our,
how y'all created Al Qaeda,
how y'all
right?
created Al Qaeda,
I'm saying
right?
that's the same
I'm
thing
saying happening
happening
in
in
Africa.
Africa.
Who
Who
the
the
fuck
fuck
is
is
these
these
niggas?
niggas?
Who the fuck is these niggas, bro? Who the fuck is these niggas talking about they jihadists and all this shit, bro? I'm not going for it no more. But I got my computer back. Let me go back to this share screen. Let me go to share screen. I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen. I'm a little nervous for this Vlad clip. So I'm gonna move off Vlad. He said what I wanted him to say about the little terrorist cell shit. That was my main focus. I don't want Vlad to strike a nigga down. So please leave me alone, Vlad. Please leave me alone. But again, don't forget how these folks try to play the game. Then they want you fired. They want your ass fired. They want your ass fired. Look at this. They want you fired, but they can act like this. Let me take this chat now. They can act like this, though. Look at this. Look at everybody thinking it's a game, right? But then everybody thinking it's a game, but then you got old boy breaking down, looking like a schoolgirl. Snot rockets coming out his fucking nose. Man, cause motherfucker don't give a cause motherfucker don't give a fuck. Hey, bro. I'm just here to tell you I don't give a damn. Let me get my clips loaded because we got some trumpet for you. We got some Trump shit for you today. We got on the agenda, we got John Casablanca. Look at John. We got John Casablanca on the plate. Elite Modeling Agency. Who else we got on the plate today? You know we got Kash Patel on the plate. Ain't no question. Cash Out Patel. Yeah, we got his ass. Cocaine Cash Out Patel. We got his ass. He on the plate for the day. And what else we got? What else we got today? My computer loading a little slow. Like I said, you'd think I was watching dirty movies on this computer, how slow it be working. Yeah, we gonna tap on his little Israeli asset. Cause I done did a little bit of looking into this. They say that boy got a honey pot going on. They running a honey pot on Cash App. They gave that boy a nice little singer songwriter and some cocaine. They got that boy right. Got that boy right in line. That's all it took, my boy. That's all it took. Hit a little honey pot, a little cocaine. Bam. Son, you keep coming playing this game every room I'm in. Yeah, find the bees. Hold up, let me mute this mic up. I guess my son got to play the game right now. So you can't play Lego Kids on the couch? Come on, little dog. I guess we're going to share the room. Let me get to this clip. Let me play a clip real quick. Maybe I can bribe him with some chocolate milk, get him up out of here. Yeah, that's right. I'm at the bribe this little boy with some chocolate milk or something. A little sugar covered strawberries or something. Oh, what's up, my love? I better not get no copyright strike from no damn game my son playing too. That'll piss me off too, sir. Over here playing game. All right, let me play his clip because he not going nowhere. Let me go 60 minutes Australia. Matter of fact, yeah, let me go 60 minutes Australia. Should I go 60 minutes Australia or should I? Nah, I'm on Cash right now. I'm gonna play all these clips. I'm on Cash, and then we're gonna look and see if these documents is doctored. Because it's looking like these documents might be doctored. Let me share this tab instead. Let's hear what Jasmine Crockett had to say.
Don't inspect and maintenance your boat with. The gear is.
Gentleman yields back. Delay from Texas to recognize.
Man, oh man, there has been so much today, and I truly don't know where to start. So I'm just going to make sure that we start off with a few facts. So a couple of facts that we need to make clear for everyone is that, number one, Director Christopher Wray, when he was appointed to be the head of the FBI, was appointed by Donald Trump. Now, I will agree that I definitely take issue with a number of decisions that Donald Trump makes, especially when it comes to the people that he decides to appoint to very important positions, including this one, because I did have to make sure that I wasn't going crazy. But when I say that you are the least qualified FBI director in the history of the FBI, that is real, because you are the only one that never even served with the FBI prior to joining. Yet we are supposed to believe that
That's
you are
false.
the greatest thing since sliced bread. I didn't ask you a question. Now, what I want
Still
to go
false.
through the greatest things positions, including this one, because I did have to make sure that I wasn't going crazy. But when I say that you are the least qualified FBI director in the history of the FBI, that is real, because you are the only one that never even served with the FBI prior to joining. Yet we are supposed to believe that
That's
you are
false.
the greatest thing since sliced bread. I didn't ask you a question. Now, what I want
Still
to go
false.
through is to talk about why you are a failure and why, honestly, we just need to tell you bye-bye. I know that you got a little upset and you put on your show for your boss because it seems like you're trying to save your job talking to Senator Booker yesterday. But let's go through some of your failures. So before you were even confirmed, and I think one of my colleague from Georgia, pointed out that you are already targeting career officials so that you could direct illegal firings. Mind you, these cases that you were so upset about, which are the ones tied to Trump, the cases came through his handpicked FBI director. And frankly, when people sit around and say things like, oh, you know, we're happy because now we feel safe. I don't know who feels safe in this country except for the white supremacists, because I specifically as a black woman definitely don't feel safe. And frankly, my colleagues have been real nice to you today, and I applaud them, but I have the same demeanor because I know that multiple colleagues on this side of the aisle have faced death threats. In fact, somebody tried to kill one of my colleagues. And frankly, I don't know if this FBI or under your leadership, if those people would have been caught. I don't have any confidence in you. And if we start talking about the reasons that I lack confidence, we could start with you not just wanting to acknowledge some simple facts. Simple facts like the vast majority of the threats are coming from right-wing extremism. And I know my colleagues have tried to stress this, but I decided that I would maybe do it in a different way. Number one, I have a couple of UCs. Kim Buck, one of multiple Republicans receiving death threats for voting against Jim Jordan as House Speaker.
Without objection.
Another one, Republican lawmaker says she received death threats after voting against Jim Jordan in Speaker's race.
Without objection.
In addition, there was another one from another colleague who now is leaving Congress because they said that they were calling his wife anonymously and threatening her life to the extent that she ended up sleeping with a firearm.
Without objection.
Okay, so here's the deal. How are we supposed to have confidence when you're sitting up here telling the Senate yesterday that it will take you 14 years before you can get the FBI fully staffed to do their jobs? You're also now redirecting resources so that they can go and play ICE agents on the streets. You're getting rid of your most qualified people. And even when it came down to somebody that you consider to be a friend, you were posted up having some fancy dinner to the extent that you posted not only once erroneously, you posted twice erroneously as it relates to catching somebody. And then you want to go and say, let me take a victory lap. Because honestly, if it wasn't for parents deciding that they were going to turn in their child, it seems like y'all wouldn't have got there. Even though he literally confessed online. So I'm confused about what it is that the FBI is doing except for trying to put on a show for the apprentice or whatever you want to call him. The day after all of this took place, there was domestic terrorism that was taking place at HBCUs. They were targeted. Yet I didn't hear anything from the FBI about what was going on. And again, black people kept saying, how did we end up in this? Because the numbers are so very clear that white supremacy is a problem. And honestly, I've not heard anything out of you today that makes me believe that you're going to do anything about the white supremacy problem. The one that is leading to children being killed, children being shot, as well as members of their community as they're worshiping in their churches.
The time of the gentlelady has expired. If the gentleman would like to respond to any of that. Well, I mean, I'll respond. Kash Patel says,
We don't want to hear from you, Jim Jordan. We do not want to hear from them motherfuckers who sat around and watched
They
kids
don't
get
believe
touched on
how
college
toxic this
campuses,
is.
Jim Jordan.
If you're still using a plastic or wooden cutting board, you need to hear this. I never post stuff like this, but I had to share. I cook almost every day, so we've gone through our fair share of cutting boards. For years,
Yeah, if I do remember correctly, that's the creep that was working when what's his name? Paterno, that's his name, right? Bobby Petrino. I can't remember the coach from Penn State who had Sandusky on his staff. Jim Jordan, wasn't Jim Jordan up there? I'm pretty sure he had something tied into it. Or no, that wasn't him. It was a wrestling and no, I remember now. It was the coach, the wrestling or the swim coach or the gymnastic coach at Ohio State. I think it might have been the gymnastic coach at Ohio State was in there messing with the kids. Jim Jordan on the clock. So we don't give a damn what you got to say, buddy. You a little creep.
Biden laptop story during the 2024 election?
Off the top of my memory, sir, I believe the FBI was in possession of verified information from that laptop, and it was improperly publicized that they did not have information and masked it as Russian disinformation. We now know that was categorically false. I don't know why the FBI did that, when they did that, but we've released all the materials related to that.
Thank you.
gentleman yields back. The gentleman from New York is recognized. Mr. Goldman.
Mr. Patel, does Donald Trump appear anywhere in the Epstein files?
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
It's not a complicated question. Does Donald Trump appear anywhere in the Epstein files?
I didn't say it was a complicated question. I just didn't hear you, so my apologies. We have released where President Trump's name's in the Epstein files and everybody else, and all credible information that we are legally allowed to release has been released.
All right, so let's go through that. You're referring to court orders that prohibit you from releasing grand jury testimony under Rule 6E. Is that what you're referring to when you say as the law allows?
That's a piece of it.
Really? What other evidence do those three court orders you cited prohibit from being released?
Information that was collected pursuant to those search warrants that were limited
Wrong.
in fashion.
Wrong. That's
Okay.
not what the court order says, and that's not under 6E.
And you're talking, and I said that's 6E, and I said there was others, and I'm answering that. There are sealed court order documents. There are protective orders.
They are unsealed as part of discovery given to Ghislaine Maxwell. They are no longer sealed.
That's just not true. We can argue about it all you want.
Okay, well, you agree that there are, so your testimony here is that the reason why you are not releasing all of the videos that you have acknowledged, there are so many, and that the FBI spent thousands of hours of reviewing, the photographs, the photographs that you have. You're saying that you're not releasing those because there's a court order requiring them to be sealed? Is that your testimony?
Never said that about the videos. On the totality of the videos, of the thousands of images that were seized pursuant to the search warrants executed at the time, the overwhelming majority of that video is pornographic material that was downloaded from the internet and child sexual abuse material. We will never release that.
Well, as you should not release the victims, but if there are videos that relate to others who Epstein trafficked to,
seized pursuant to the search warrants executed at the time, the overwhelming majority of that video is pornographic material that was downloaded from the internet and child sexual abuse material. We will never release that.
Well, as you should not release the victims. But if there are videos that relate to others who Epstein trafficked to, such as maybe Prince Andrew, or photographs, that you have total control to release.
Yes, and if it exists.
And so why haven't you released it?
Why are you supposing that that is a fact when in fact it is false? Are you saying that?
You're saying that none of the videos relate to anything relevant to the Jeffrey Epstein trafficking ring?
Every single video that we have collected pursuant to the prior search warrants has been examined for the last 10 years. And every single video has been utilized for whatever prosecutions were able to be legally brought.
I'm not asking about prosecutions. I'm asking about why you aren't releasing the full Epstein files, including the names of people who were involved in the sex ring that you promised to do before you became FBI director.
I just told you, I'm not going to release downloaded porn of
I'm not
children on
asking
the
about
internet.
that. Fine. I'm asking about all the other files.
What other videos? Tell me. Tell me.
That's what I'm asking.
Tell me.
You're saying there are no videos that would be relevant to anyone else involved in the Jeffrey Epstein sex ring.
Pursuant to Mr. Acosta's collection of information based on the search warrants. That's all we have in our possession.
And I'm asking you, that stuff.
That's all we got.
I'm not asking all you got. I'm asking you, in that stuff, there's nothing. That's related to the to any other sex traffic, any other people engaged with Epstein in underage sex.
That's correct. To my knowledge, no.
Okay. Let's talk about the witness interviews. 302s of witness interviews. Those are not subject to the court order. Those are not subject to any fictional sealed order for a search warrant. Why aren't you releasing those with the redacted names of the victims?
We are releasing as much as legally allowed. That's why we went back to the courts.
How is that not legally allowed?
Sir, do you know how court orders work? Do you know how protective orders
Actually,
work? Do you know how
Mr.
sealing
Patel,
orders
I was a real prosecutor for 10 years. I know exactly how.
So I was a
court
fake
orders.
one?
And I want to understand what the court order prevents you from releasing witness statements that the FBI
legally allowed. That's why we went back to
how
the
is
courts.
that? How is that not legally allowed?
Sir, do you know how court orders work? Do you know how protective orders
Actually,
work? Do you know how
Mr.
sealing
Patel,
orders
I was a real prosecutor for 10 years. I know exactly how.
So I was a
court
fake
orders.
one?
And I want to understand what the court order prevents you from releasing witness statements that the FBI took.
You should know that as a real prosecutor, when the court hand downs a protective order and a motion to seal, the material is sealed unless
So
that
your
judge
testimony
waives
here
it.
is that all of those witness statements are under a court order, a protective order.
We are providing everything we can legally provide.
No, that's not my
Congress has
question.
sent us a
My
subpoena.
question is, why are those witness statements that are not grand jury testimony, that if they were under a protective order are no longer under a protective order, why are they not being released?
How are they not under protective
Why
order?
are you not going to the court like you did for the grand jury testimony to unseal those records?
The DOJ did go to the court.
No, not on those records. Why aren't you going? You just went on grand jury.
Time of the gentleman has expired. The
You are hiding the Epstein files, Mr.
Time of the
Patel.
gentleman has expired.
You are part of the cover-up.
If you live in a Florida zip code and have 0 DUIs in the last 5 years, listen carefully. I was an insurance agent for 30 years.
Consent request.
Gentleman's recognized.
So I've got 4 documents I'd like. Jeffrey Epstein's 6 story played out for years in plain sight. And Acosta is quoted in here saying, I was told Epstein belonged to intelligence and to leave it alone. The second document is entitled, What Epstein's Bodyguard Warned About His CIA Connections. The third document is from Fox Digital. It's titled, Epstein's Private Calendar Reveals Planned Meetings with Obama Admin Official, CIA Chief. And the last document is Wall Street Journal article that highlights Ehud Barak's 36 meetings with Jeffrey Epstein. He was the former prime minister of Israel and head of military intelligence for Israel. It may have held that title when he met Epstein, and then, yes.
Without objection, the gentleman will hold for a second. The gentleman from Maryland is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just one UC request. This is Judge Engelmeyer's decision from August in U.S. versus Epstein, stating the government's 100,000 pages of Epstein files dwarfs the 70-odd pages of Epstein grand jury materials.
Without objection, the gentleman from Kentucky is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Patel, I watched some of your Senate hearing yesterday when Senator Kennedy asked you, you've seen most of the files, who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these women to besides himself? You replied, according to the transcript, there is no credible information that he trafficked them to anyone else. You also said somewhere in the hearing and here today that the problem is that the case files are constrained by limited search warrants from 2006 to 2007, and that the non-prosecution agreement hamstrung future investigations. Those constraints only apply to Southern District of Florida. They do not apply to Southern District of New York, the location of the 2019
Damn. So I thought I was saying some shit. Let me reload my computer again. So, bro, this shit is so simple. It's not even hard to understand. We see what's going on. It's a cover up. It's been a cover up. We seen what was happening. Vicky, what's her name? Vicky Ward with the Vanity Fair. All this shit been in it's been in the public's eye. We know about John Casablanca. We know about um Jimmy Savile. We know about Peter Nygaard. We know about Jean-Luc Brunel. We know about these connections. We know that they exist. We know that they died by suicide. All of them. So how in the fuck you trying to sit up here and tell us he trafficked to himself? Then when you get up there on the stage and you say your investigation hamstrung pursuant to the way the case was, blah blah blah, that bullshit, that legal speak, you turn around and you get caught out of bounds again because everybody's not stupid. There's multiple investigations into him. There's a treasure trove of evidence. So much that y'all claimed that's why y'all hadn't released nothing yet, because there's thousands and thousands of documents. You got to go through them all. Then when you claim you went through them all, you said it was all downloaded from the internet. Come on, bro. After we knew he had cameras and he was the one taking the videos and replaying the video, he had videos of high prominent individuals in relationships with these women. This is what we knew. This is what we already knew. This is what we already knew. So let me let Massey ask his question. Hopefully my damn computer stop acting bogus. Hopefully this shit stop acting bogus.
Gentleman from Kentucky is recognized for 5 minutes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Patel, I watched some of your Senate hearing yesterday when Senator Kennedy asked you, you've seen most of the files, who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these women to besides himself? You replied, according to the transcript, there is no credible information that he trafficked them to anyone else. You also said somewhere in the hearing and here today that the problem is that the case files are constrained by limited search warrants from 2006 to 2007 and that the non-prosecution agreement hamstrung future investigations. Those constraints only apply to Southern District of Florida. They do not apply to Southern District of New York, the location of the 2019 sex trafficking indictment, which produced many things, including a series of FD 302 documents. According to victims who cooperated with the FBI in that investigation, these documents in FBI possession, your possession, detail at least 20 men, including Mr. Jess Staley, CEO of Barclays Bank, who Jeffrey Epstein trafficked victims to, victims including minors, such as Virginia Roberts Giuffre, may she rest in peace. That list also includes at least 19 other individuals, one Hollywood producer worth a few $100 million, one royal prince, one high-profile individual in the music industry, one very prominent banker, one high-profile government official, one high-profile former politician, one owner of a car company in Italy, one rock star, one magician, at least 6 billionaires, including a billionaire from Canada. We know these people exist in the FBI files, the files that you control. I don't know exactly who they are, but the FBI does. Have you launched any investigations into any of these people, and have you seen these 302 documents?
Sir, I have asked my FBI agents to review the entirety of the Epstein files and bring forth any credible information. And we're working with Congress not only to divulge that information and produce it to you, but any investigations that arise from any credible investigation will be brought. There have been no new materials brought to me launching a new indictment.
So is the loophole here, or is it your assertion that these victims aren't credible, that the 302s maybe didn't produce credible statements that rise to a probable cause?
It's not my assertion, sir. It's the assertion of two different United States attorneys' offices from 3 separate administrations who investigated those same materials in lifetime.
Are the 302 documents in the FBI's possession?
They reviewed all that.
Yo, Cash, what the fuck are you doing, bro? What the fuck are you doing? You are the one who came out your mouth and said the previous administrations that did not investigate this shit are complicit. Then you turn around and you saying, well, clearly there wasn't enough evidence because the previous administrations did not do any investigation. Bro, that you do realize this is a complete 180. You're saying the exact opposite. This is why, let me put this back on the screen. This is why they call you the minister of truth. This is why they call you the minister of truth. Let me put this shit back on the screen. This is why they call you the minister of truth, my boy. This is why they call you the minister of truth right here. Because you bogus. You bogus as hell, gang. You bogus as hell. You bogus as hell, gang. Let me put it up there so everybody can see. Just hide the avatar. Hide the avatar. That's what you look like, gang. 1984. Double speak. Orwellian gospel. That what y'all be doing. Y'all be speaking that Orwellian gospel. Orwellian dialect. That's what y'all be doing. Let me go back to the screen.
That, yes, sir. And so have you reviewed those 302 documents that where the victims name the people who victims aren't credible, that the 302s maybe didn't produce credible statements that rise to a probable cause?
It's not my assertion, sir. It's the assertion of two different United States attorneys' offices from 3 separate administrations who investigated those same materials in lifetime.
Are the 302 documents in the FBI's possession?
They reviewed all that, yes, sir.
And so have you reviewed those 302 documents that where the victims name the people who victimized them?
If I personally know, but the FBI has.
So how can you sit here and in front of the Senate and say there are no names?
I said
I named one today.
I said we are not in the practice at the Department of Justice FBI of releasing victims' names. That is not what we do. We are also not in the habit of releasing incredible information. That's not what we do. But multiple authorities have looked at the entirety of what we have.
Okay, I got to move on here. Were you present when the AG had the White House event when she released the binders to the social media influencers?
I was, yes.
So if you're willing to meet with social media influencers who stood to benefit from the sensational and sad stories of these victims, will you meet with the victims as well?
The FBI will meet with anyone who has new information.
Will you personally meet with them?
The FBI and the professionals who are handling the cases will.
Were you instructed that it was important to release the documents to the Oversight Committee on the day of my introduction of the discharge petition to release these files?
I don't know what day that was, so no.
Well, they were released that day, and there were victims' names who weren't redacted because they were in such a rush, and the victims are not happy about that. Have you investigated any of the CIA connections? Have you seen the CIA file on Jeffrey Epstein? And if you wanted to see it, would they show it to you?
Well, I can speak for the FBI, and that's presuming there's a CIA case file. And I've reviewed everything that the interagency, not I, the FBI, that was provided to us.
Would you be willing to look at the CIA file on Jeffrey Epstein?
If there is such a file, and if it has not already been turned over to the FBI will look at any new investigative leads.
Have you made any progress on the pipe bomb investigation January 6th? And have you made any progress on the motive of the Las Vegas shooter?
As to the first, it's an ongoing investigation, and we have made progress. As to the second, sir, I'll have to get back to you.
All right, thank you. I yield back.
Mr. Chairman, I have a unanimous.
If you live in a Florida zip code and have 0 DUIs in the last 5 years, listen carefully. I was an insurance agent for 30 years, and what I'm about to tell you could save you up to 80% on your auto insurance. Here's what the industry doesn't want you to know. Florida drivers pay the most for car insurance out of any state in the country. We call drivers in this state gold tier clients, the ones we'd fight to keep because of inflated commissions. But here's the dirty secret. If you're in Florida, they won't let you know you can lower your rate now, and they're happy to keep overcharging you. My neighbor Jessica from Tampa, perfect record, was paying $180 a month for.
Chair now recognizes the gentlelady from California.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm concerned by reports that FBI agents have been diverted from their important work on crime and anti-terrorism to work on matters that are not critical to our safety. I'd like to play the video, the whole video.
Jeffrey
clip.
Epstein's
Black Book?
Black Book.
FBI.
But who? That is, I mean, there's...
Oh, that's under direct control of the director of the FBI. Or the
So, but
manifesto.
the Black Book, it's not just sitting, I mean, that's Hoover power times 10.
And to me, that's a thing I think President Trump should run on. On day one, roll out the Black Book.
In contrast to that attitude of let it all out, we're getting reports of actions that run contrary to getting everything out and that also involve diversions of FBI resources. For example, an FBI whistleblower reported that you were pressured by the Attorney General to place 1,000
I'm having heavy motherfucking computer problem. I think it's because I got too many tabs open. That's crazy. That motherfucker was just playing just fine. Damn. Let me see what's going on with it. I also wanted to touch base. Damn, these BBLs are getting out of hand. God damn. Damn, boy, that is amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right, I get while I'm waiting. I'm gonna just I'm gonna go over some shit I'm already on the cuff about or off the cuff about. So like I was saying with this whole Trump shit. So this nigga Trump, I got a video I'm about to play it after she got done grilling Cash. Got a video, President Trump, 1991, elite modeling agency. They had a pageant. Everybody was 14 to 16. They walking around with these um bathing suits on, and there was only three judges: John Casablanca, Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein. That's a hell of a judgment. Like that's a hell of a crowd to be in. Bro, what's up with my computer? This shit about to make me just shut the stream down. This punk ass computer. Yeah, man, I'm finna go smoke a black and mild, man. This computer pissing me off. Man, the computer, yeah, this shit, I threw my whole vibe off, man. I'm about to cut this computer off and go smoke me a black. I guess I'm gonna just wait till that motherfucker load back up. My shit literally done like the screen on. I done hit the off button. I done hit the shut off. I done hit control alt delete. That motherfucker stuck like Chuck. I think what I'm gonna start doing too is I'm gonna have some videos queued up because you can do that with Restream. You can have videos already saved in the background. I can start playing videos already from my device. That way I don't gotta wait, deal with this dumbass shit. That's exactly what I'm finna do. 'Cause that's crazy. I had to restart the whole thing. Damn. I mean, cause this shit making me mad, man. I don't know what the hell my son is listening to. He got this nigga listening to Fallout Boy. What is he back there listening to? Like he back there rocking out. Bring it in here. Let me put this motherfucker up. All right, man. Hopefully we get back into okay. It should be here.
Work out there. Everything's in one place. Everyone's aligned in real time. Totally worth it.
So your headline is
Chair now recognizes the gentlelady from California.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm concerned by reports that FBI agents have been diverted from their important work on crime and anti-terrorism to work on matters that are not critical to our safety. I'd like to play the video, the whole video.
Jeffrey
clip.
Epstein's
Black Book?
Black Book.
FBI.
But who? That is, I mean,
Oh,
there's...
that's under direct control of the director of the FBI.
So, but the Black Book, it's not just sitting, I mean, that's Hoover power times 10.
And to me, that's a thing I think President Trump should run on. On day one, roll out the Black Book.
In contrast to that attitude of let it all out, we're getting reports of actions that run contrary to getting everything out and that also involve diversions of FBI resources. For example, an FBI whistleblower reported that you were pressured by the Attorney General to place 1,000 persons
Man, this shit about to make me crash out. I'm about to throw my fucking laptop outside. This shit about to make me I'm about to act like a barbarian. I'm about to smash my laptop out there on the sidewalk if this motherfucker don't get his brain together. I'm finna smash my motherfucking laptop on the sidewalk. I don't need this Chromebook nowhere. I'm finna smash this little hoe. This shit pissing me all the way off.
Thanks for the slap, Ali. I prove it to myself before I prove that shit to you. I was out here thinking I was supposed to be the one that stayed at school. Got kicked out campus, dorm got searched. They think I robbed the bank. Got me feeling like Tim, cause I swear this shit done came the harder way. He swear he pee, but he only gon' fuck cause that boy got a car and a chain. He wanna hate the player, but he really know he need to hate the game. I was taking trips to the left coast with the boats, just trying to make a name. I thought I was on the right path till the troll got behind me and hit the lights. Pack touch Touchdown against feel like I'm Percy. Telling me that I'm more handsome in person. I been found my purpose, can't pop me no perk. I typed in some shit you can't reach it like cursive. I'm typing some shit you can't see to believe in. Some shit you can't see to believe in. OG on trap on Sunday like a deacon. Name ain't Steven, he tryna get even. He hide his mind, he gon' fight through the demons. Lost in his mind, he can't find him a reason. I prove it to myself before I prove that shit to you. I was out here thinking I was supposed to be the one that stayed in school. Got kicked out campus, dorm got searched. They think I robbed the bank. Got me feeling like Tim, cause I swear this shit then came the harder way. He swear he pee, but he only gon' fuck cause that boy got a car and a chain. He wanna hate the player, but he really know he need to hate the game. I was taking trips to the left coast with the bows and trying to make a name. I thought I was on the right path till a troll got behind me and hit the lights.
All right, let me see. I'm outside now from smoking black and mild. Any nigga ain't finna stress me out about this sorry ass laptop. So let me share my screen. Let me put this on the big boy screen. All right. Let me see if I can get some better performance off of Twitter. Hell no. Oh, bro. See, that's that fuckery. That shit, that's crazy. I'm talking about, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's it. Fuck it. I ain't fucking with that shit. That shit gonna have me mad. I'm just gonna talk this shit and I'm finna get up out of it. Bro, I literally, my computer just crashed. I'm talking about just crashed. Like, as soon as I clicked on that link, that motherfucker crashed. You'll think I'm watching booty movies on this bitch. I don't know what I did. I think my laptop ever since see the problem was I was trying to do too much on the Chromebook back when I had first got it. I was first learning how to install shit with command lines and shit like that. So I called myself downloading shit that is not even compatible with Chromebook, but I'm like shit, I know how to do it. I just downloaded it in the terminal. So I'm running shit like OBS Studio and on a Chromebook. That bitch ain't supposed to be on here. You know, I was on Studio OS. Like I was doing a little couple of shits. Like I was trying to remake. Well, I did. I replicated Spotify and I replicated in it Netflix with an NFT version. Like I put different things from OpenSea, different smart contracts that would display shit that was already on like OpenSea, which is like a market, Raribles, stuff like that. So I had like basically created my own NFT market, but I made it look like Netflix, and I did this shit all on the Chromebook. And ever since I did that shit, like ever since I spun up all my shit, did everything, watching all my videos, tapping in, my computer has never been the same. So my shit has never been the same. And I knew it, like bro, I had just got it. It was it was one of them touchscreen laptops. I figured like, yeah, I'm gonna just use this bit for me and my son when I play movies on it. And then when I got them on the late night, I can do my little shit with it. I ruined that motherfucker in 3 weeks. So my shit is cooked. My shit is absolutely cooked. I'm sitting over here trying to stream, but that's why I said starting next week, a lot of the sharing I'm gonna be doing gonna be off the phone. I'm not gonna be using Zoom though. I don't like Zoom, so I'm not gonna be using Zoom. But I do got a situation where I'm gonna be able to live stream, share from the tab on the phone, jump back and forth between TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, however I want to do my shit, and I'm gonna be able to drop the links so I can have debates and shit like that off the phone. That's gonna take me to the next level because I'm having way too many. technical difficulties with this Lenovo Chromebook, this broke ass Chromebook. You feel me? But let me try this. I'm gonna try to share the tab one more time. This bit don't go, then it's just gonna be a short show. I'm up out of here. I ain't got time to be fucking around. Let's see what the lit read. I better not have no problems. You hear me? So it's John Luke Brunel. I already played it around, bro, but we gonna hit this clip.
Acting as a matchmaker. He's got the agency, he's got the girls, It's a meat market. You are there for the purpose of somebody wanting to take you home to bed. He is acting as a matchmaker. He's got the agency, he's got the girls. His friends say, oh, Jean-Luc, I'd like to meet some girls, or we're having a party tonight. Can you bring some girls?
And what happens if you say no?
You don't work.
You've actually known, be very careful on this, you actually have known that he has made someone pay a professional penalty for saying no.
I know, I paid a penalty for saying no. I was personally proposed to by himself, Jean-Luc, and I said, no way. I laughed in his face, and I had no more appointments, and I never worked. It's a meat market. You are there for the purpose of somebody wanting to take you home to bed. He is acting as a matchmaker. He's got the agency, he's got the girls. His friends say, oh, Jean-Luc, I'd like to meet some girls, or we're having a party tonight. Can you bring some girls?
And what happens if you say no?
You don't work.
You've actually known, be very careful on this, you actually have known that he has made someone pay a professional penalty for saying no.
I know, I paid a penalty for saying no. I was personally proposed to by himself, Jean-Luc, and I said, no way. I laughed in his face, and I had no more appointments, and I never worked. It's a meat market. You are there for the purpose of somebody wanting to take you home to bed.
Yeah, that's
He is acting as a matchmaker. He's got the agency, he's got the girls. His friends say, oh, Jean-Luc, I'd like to meet some girls, or we're having a party tonight. Can you bring some girls?
And what happens if you say no?
You don't work.
You've actually known, be very careful on this, you actually have known.
This is well done. So let's read this. So it says, back in the early 90s, John Casablanca of Elite Modeling Agency and Donald Trump teamed up with Trump hosting and judging the Look of the Year teen model competition at the Plaza, blending the worlds of real estate, glitz, and what looked like early reality TV in the making.
You could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
Which is crazy.
You could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything
doctor.
is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
Crazy work. What else we got on the trail? Ivanka, age 15, co-host of Miss Teen USA 1997, which Donald Trump owned. Okay, my jaw dropped when she said she was 15 and proudly brags that she's been modeling in Paris for Elite Modeling Agency. So, see what they got more Not too much. Elite Modeling Agency was owned by pedophile John Casablanca, and the European HQ in Paris was run by another pedophile, Gerald Marie. I forgot about Gerald. I gotta tap in. So let me play this. Why that bit sound low? Bogus. I don't know if you could hear that because it was kind of low. But he said they didn't make him like that when I was 15. About Trump's daughter.
Designed to help our judges discover what makes each one special.
Your 5'9" reading? Serious, huh? We lean measure again tonight before the game. Okay. Thank you very much, Amy.
The concentration was intense inside the judging room.
What if they don't like you as you are?
And out.
Just so excited.
Each girl was considered not only for her beauty and poise, but also for her personality and that indefinable
something extra that makes a top model.
Okay, you want to pull your hair back for a second? Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Ingrid. Good luck for tonight.
Thank you.
When it came time to choose the 21 finalists, emotions ran high as each judge expressed his or her opinion.
So, again, I'm going to play it again. As in 1991, President Donald Trump at the Elite Modeling Management judging 14 to 16-year-olds. It's y'all president. Let's play it. Let's see it from a different angle.
Round of personal interviews designed to help our judges discover what makes 58 contestants participated in an exhaustive round of personal interviews designed to help our judges discover what makes each one special.
Your 5'9" reading? Serious, huh? We lean measure again tonight before the game. Okay. Thank you very much, Amy.
The concentration was intense inside the judging room.
What if they don't like you as you are?
And out.
Just so excited.
Let's read this. Another contestant who was 15 at the time also remembered being asked to walk for Trump, Casablanca, and other men on the boat in September 1992. She says an organizer told her that if she refused, she would be excluded from the competition. I knew in my gut it wasn't right. This wasn't being judged or part of the competition. It was for the entertainment. Say the stories we have heard suggest that Casablanca and some of the men in his orbit used the contestants to engage in sexual relationships with vulnerable young men. Young models. Young men too, though. I could go down that rabbit hole, but just look up the Hollister CEO or the Abercrombie and Fitch CEO. They was running this whole same ring. The whole play is the modeling agency. Boys and girls, they get you to come to this modeling gig in order you to move up the ladder. It's a little bit of finesse work. And then that's just a lightweight.
The nefarious shit is just the trafficking, the straight trafficking. Like that's what his Epstein was accused of. What did it say? Some of these allegations amount to sexual harassment, abusive exploitation of teenage girls, and others accurately described as great. So it's like, we already know this. All right, let's get into this right here. So I thought this was pretty funny. So FBI Director Kash Patel's girlfriend, Alice Wilson, is pushing back hard against rumors that she's a Mossad agent. She denies being a honeypot sent by Israeli intelligence to sway her powerful boyfriend's decision inside the FBI. Really? So let's just look into this a little bit, though, because once I seen it proposed, I'm like, this is me intriguing. So Kash Patel, he was a super duper Jeffrey Epstein files got to be shown to the public before he became the FBI director. Basically turned on his head. He was saying Israel was connected. He was saying all of this. He gets inside the FBI. We don't have none of that. We hear the opposite. We hear he was suicided. We hear he had no connection, no ties. He wasn't trafficking to nobody. But when you started looking to his personal life, you find out, who is this Alex Wilkins? Turns out she's an Israeli country singer. Israeli country singer. Like, so now this got me looking at all these artists, these agencies. Look, I'm looking completely different. If it comes out that this chick, in fact, is an asset of Mossad, I'm looking at the music industry completely different. Because now, who's to say that a lot of these artists are assets? Like, I think I want to say the nigga from Black Eyed Peas, was it will.i.am? Was it him? One of them Haitian niggas got accused of doing some shit like that, being an artist, but secretly being like a double agent, like some espionage shit. This got me thinking, when I seen this with this singer becoming the politician's girlfriend, it's got me thinking about a lot of shit in this music industry. Are these people just assets? Are these people just assets? See, now I'm turning to a conspiracy. This is why I can't stand this administration. These niggas will turn you to the conspiracy theory. Fuck niggas, man. All right, so look, Wilkins say she fully supports releasing the Epstein files just as long as people start calling her a spy. Let's let her say it with her own words real quick.
Do you think this has been tough on him? Because, this is his base too.
I think so. I think that it's hard when you see anyone you love being attacked for something that you're doing. I've encountered it on the smaller scale as I've been a public figure for long enough to see, people try to picket my, family, try and find people online. This is something that people do. Hence, it's funny referring back to the ChatGPT investigation that was held on the SOT you played, that there aren't any interviews of my friends. Well, there aren't any interviews of my friends because I don't want the internet to attack them. I think it's pretty sensical. But no, he's dedicated to the American people as he always has been. I think that when people get into government, they don't just, snap into something else. People have the same mission that they did on the campaign trail and during the time before they were in government, which is really all I can say on that. But I think that, ultimately, it's been hard to see me come into the
Why is that all you can say
line of
on
fire
that?
for something he's already dealing with.
Why is that all you can say on that, though? I'm confused. Like, you're not beating allegations with that. Let me see what bro got to say. Let me see what the uncredible TikToker got to say.
Wouldn't it be crazy if Kash Patel's girlfriend was an Israeli intelligence officer? Yes, meet Alexis Wilkins. She is the CEO of an organization called PragerU. No, it's not a university. It's just like a lobbying group that promotes American values. Yeah, fucking right. But here, let's do the background here. She was born in Los Angeles, but moved to Israel at a very young age. Miss Marissa did. I guess her original name was Marissa Straight. But yeah, she did her primary education in Israel. And it's American values. Yeah, fucking right. But here, let's do the background here. She was born in Los Angeles, but moved to Israel at a very young age. Miss Marissa did. I guess her original name was Marissa Straight. But yeah, she did her primary education in Israel and then served in military intelligence unit 820 of the IDF. Okay, for those of you unaware, unit 8200.
Nah, bro, stop the cap, bro. Hey, bro, what the fuck? Hey, bro. Bro, this is crazy, bro. Hold up, let me go give my girl my debit card. Hold up. Let me go give my girl my debit card so she can go get something to eat. Let me put this on repeat and play this shit a couple times. Bro, you might hear this video 3 times. I got to go run in the house, go give my girl my debit card. But she works at PragerU. CEO of PragerU, first of all, is crazy. CEO of PragerU is crazy. But then you telling me she actually was a member of the IDF? And that's his girlfriend, bro? Let me play this shit again, bro. It's blowing me.
Wouldn't it be crazy if Kash Patel's girlfriend was a Israeli intelligence officer? Yes, meet Alexis Wilkins. She is the CEO of an organization called PragerU. No, it's not a university. It's just like a lobbying group that promotes American values. Yeah, fucking right. But here, let's do the background here. She was born in Los Angeles, but moved to Israel at a very young age. Miss Marissa did. I guess her original name was Marissa Straight. But yeah, she did her primary education in Israel and then served in military intelligence unit 820 of the IDF. Okay, for those of you unaware, unit 8200 is the most advanced global cyber team probably in the world. So no big deal. Yeah, so I'm sure she really does love Kash for who he is, and she's definitely not his handler. And how dare you even suggest such a thing? Wouldn't it be crazy if Kash Patel's girlfriend was a Israeli intelligence officer? Yes, meet Alexis Wilkins. She is the CEO of an organization called PragerU. No, it's not a university. It's just like a lobbying group that promotes American values. Yeah, fucking right. But here, let's do the background here. She was born in Los Angeles, but moved to Israel at a very young age. Miss Marissa did. I guess her original name was Marissa Straight. But yeah, she did her primary education in Israel and then served in military intelligence unit 820 of the IDF. Okay, for those of you unaware, unit 8200 is the most advanced global cyber team probably in the world. So no big deal. Yeah, so I'm sure she really does love Kash for who he is, and she's definitely not his handler. And how dare you even suggest such a thing? Wouldn't it be crazy if Kash Patel's girlfriend was a Israeli intelligence officer? Yes, meet Alexis Wilkins. She is the CEO of an organization called PragerU. No, it's not a university. It's just like a lobbying group that promotes American values. Yeah, fucking right. But here, let's do the background here. She was born in Los Angeles, but moved to Israel at a very young age. Miss Marissa did. I guess her original name was Marissa Straight. But yeah, she did her primary education in Israel and then served in military intelligence unit 820 of the IDF. Okay, for those of you unaware, unit 8200 is the most advanced global cyber team probably in the world. So no big deal. Yeah, so I'm sure she really does love Kash for who he is, and she's definitely not his handler. And how dare you even suggest such a thing?
So this is crazy.
Wouldn't it be crazy?
I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. This is crazy. Hold on. I'm throwed off now, for real. This is crazy, bro. No wonder his ass be so high. Yo.
Man, no wonder he look like he done snorted all of China. No wonder. Man, what does my girl want now, bro? What the? What's up, baby? Why'd you come to the door? I literally didn't. It was a glare. Get on my damn nerves, bro. Women, bro. Women, bro. Can't live with them. Can't live without them, boy. I swear to God. Anyway, this is crazy. So let's this starting to make a little sense. I gotta agree with Salt Girl. This is bogus. This is crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Cyber intelligence, bro. Cyber intelligence, bro. So you saying Patel Girl is a Jewish country singer, works for PragerU. Epstein Island was a black man. Yeah, we know all this. This is, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Kash. This is crazy work, Kash. Kash, this is bad work, bro.
Of the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. Now, as part of our investigation, we spoke to Ari Ben Mashani, who is a former Israeli spy. He said on the record unequivocally that Jeffrey Epstein was working for Israeli intelligence operations, the Mossad, and running a classic honey trap operation. That is, lure people inside, record their activities, and learn about their peccadillos and use it to blackmail them. This is a former spy on the record in the new book, Epstein Dead Men Tell No Tales. Interestingly, this person was also the handler of Jeffrey Epstein's best friend and ex-girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell. She was said to have been one of the women who helped procure the underage girls for Epstein. She has denied that. But her father was Robert Maxwell, a media and press baron who owned the Mirror News Group in England and also the New York Daily News. He was a former Mossad agent. And according to my source, Ari Ben Mashari, the business that Robert Maxwell had was turned over to Jeffrey Epstein almost in a switch before Robert Maxwell died in mysterious circumstances off the back of a boat in 1991.
Well, this is mind-boggling stuff.
See what I'm saying, bro? It's already been out. Motherfuckers have already been said this type of stuff. So apparently they been gave up on Kash. They say he's a Zionist imbecile. He was all about Epstein transparency until he actually got in a position. Then he did a 180 overnight. Well, yeah, he got a girlfriend who worked for the IDF, bro. He can't do nothing.
Well, the Epstein Black Book, like on day one.
On day one, roll out the black book.
Talking about.
So will you work with me on this issue so we know who worked with Jeffrey Epstein in building these sex trafficking rings?
Absolutely, Senator. Child sex trafficking has no place in the United States of America, and I will do everything, if confirmed as FBI director, to make sure the American public knows the full weight of what happened in the past.
Well, the Epstein Black Book, like on day one.
On day one, roll out the black book.
So will you work with me on this issue so we know who worked with Jeffrey Epstein in building these sex trafficking rings?
Absolutely, Senator. Child sex trafficking has no place in the...
You know what I just realized? I'm gonna play the clip again, make sure I'm not tripping. I think I just Just learn something. You know that. Hold up. Let me let it. Let me let him. You know that that person who got caught up in that sting operation, that Israeli IDF member. He was a part of the cybersecurity, right?
Miss Marissa did. I guess her original name was Marissa Straight. But yeah, she did her primary education in Israel and then served in Military Intelligence Unit 820 of the IDF. Okay? For those of you unaware, Unit 8200 is the most advanced global cyber team probably in the world. So, no big deal. Yeah, so I'm sure she really does love Kash for who he is, and she's definitely not his handler. And how dare you even suggest such a thing? Wouldn't it be crazy if Kash Patel's girlfriend was a Israeli intelligence officer? Yes, meet Alexis Wilkins. She is the CEO of an organization called PragerU. No, it's not a university. It's just like a lobbying group that promotes American values. Yeah, fucking right. But here, let's do the background here. She was born in Los Angeles, but moved to Israel at a very young age. Miss Marissa did. I guess her original name was Marissa Straight. But yeah, she did her primary education in Israel and then served in Military Intelligence Unit 820 of the IDF. Okay? For those of you unaware, Unit 8200 is the most advanced global cyber team probably in the world. So, no big deal. Yeah, so I'm sure she really does love Kash for who he is, and she's definitely not his handler. And how dare you even suggest such a thing?
Right, how dare you?
Wouldn't it be crazy if Kash Patel's girlfriend...
How dare you even suggest such a thing? There's no way that she's tied to Mossad. She just used to work for the IDF, that's all. Oh yeah, I don't hold up on that David shit. I don't know if y'all peeped that singer David killed this underage girl. I gotta touch on that too, but I don't know if I'm gonna catch that right now. Matter of fact,
never believed that the CIA killed Kennedy.
No. You're talking to a guy that's read the entire JFK file.
You've seen all the secret stuff?
I've seen all of that, and I've seen the 7 pages of the 9/11 report. I've seen it all.
You don't say that to people that you can't tell what you saw. Should the Kennedy stuff be released?
Yes.
Is there anything there that is like, is anybody alive that...
The problem is, the things that we can't release have nothing to do with the questions you guys are asking. That's about as far as I can go on it. But like the answers you guys want, pretty much have them. There's very minimal stuff that can't be seen for things that you wouldn't even think are related to that.
Why can't we release them?
And you're thinking temporally, like, did it stop back then? Right? You know, the way intelligence works is you're always developing it. Where did I get that? Where did that go? Oh, hey, I found that guy 5 years ago. Let's go talk to him. Where does that get us? You know, it's a little bit bigger of a jigsaw puzzle. I mean, it's the same. Look, so the 7 pages of the 9/11 report, yes, overnight, that needs to come out. I'm telling you, that's got to go. And there will be some people that are pissed off.
Kash, you look crazy, bro. You look crazy, bro. When your girl used to work for the cyber security division, you look crazy when shit like this takes place, bro. You look crazy. Like for real, bro. Let me take this off the screen. You look crazy. MAGA erupts after Israeli officials charged in child sex trafficking ring flees U.S. And how was he to flee the U.S.? How was he able to flee the U.S.? Let's get something understood. Let's get something understood. Hold on. Axios don't make me have to do nothing stupid. I gotta subscribe. See, I don't feel like doing all of that. See, I don't even feel like doing it. I should have logged in. I don't even feel like showing my email address though. I do not feel like showing out the email address. So instead, we're gonna do a little Google search. Man, it ain't no false claim. Get out of here. In August 2025, Tom Artyom Alexandrovich, a senior Israeli official, was arrested in Las Vegas and charged with soliciting a minor. He was among 8 individuals arrested during a 2-week undercover sting. Right? Now, he's the executive director of the defense division at the, look, see what I'm saying? He's the executive director of the Israeli National Cyber Directorate. What did they say Kash Patel's girl used to work for? After she left military intelligence, well, she worked for Unit 8200, which is known as, let me read it. Unit 8200 is known as, I guess that's not it. It's got something to do with cyber security. Cyber security, Unit Military 8200. I'm going to have to type that in too, but let me finish this real quick. Alexandrovich was arrested in a child sex predator sting operation in Henderson, Nevada, about 16 miles outside of downtown Vegas. He was charged with cyber luring of a child for sex acts, a felony that carries out up to 10 years in prison. Okay, he was booked into a detention center. He was released the next day on $10,000 bond, right? He returned to Israel 2 days later despite felony charges and a lack of diplomatic immunity. How do you not take this boy passport? Like, what are we talking about? This is a joke. He was scheduled to appear in court on August 27th. Alexandrovich did not appear for his arraignment hearing in Henderson. That date was ordered to appear remotely the following week. That's crazy. That's garbage. His lawyer said that he had a deal with the district attorney to not to appear in person, which was denied by the judge, who held that the DA had no authority to grant. So again, special treatment. Special treatment. In response to the incident, the cyber directorate claimed that the directorate has not received additional details through authorized channels to date, and this was proven to be a lie when the reports came out. The FBI directly contacted the Israeli Defense Force immediately upon arresting him. I think they contacted him actually before they were going to arrest him. So Alexandrovich's release was criticized by House Republicans Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massie. Why are they the only two speaking up? Right? Why are they the only two speaking up? On August 18th, what is my girl calling me for? Hold up. What's up, baby? Why don't you just ask me to bring out the water? All right, I'm coming. like I said, man, gotta love them. Let me cue up a little video so I can go do some shit for my girl. Damn, AVAX is trending. Why is AVAX trending? Do I need to go check my portfolio? Why is AVAX trending? Let me go check my portfolio. Hold on. AVAX is trending. Let me go check my portfolio. I hope I'm rich. I'll be back. Let me get to this video. I hope I'm rich. Ooh, why is AVAX trending? Boy, I hope I'm rich, boy. Let me find out AVAX trending. I'm up 300. Let me find out. Let me go look. They got me intrigued.
These folks make a killing just on covering our pain. Crazy to think this lifestyle we live, folks gon' ever be the same. You can give it your all and it still ain't enough. Late nights having dreams of no jump. Heard he tryna make a name, instead he got a inmate number. Fucked up by the cars with the niggas Mustang never shuffle. He know if he maximize his grind, he could turn to a stunner. He mastermind getting swift, that nigga turned to a track star. First he was catching rides, then he turned to a NASCAR. I know a nigga turned 26, yeah, he's still hitting licks. One thing about it, that's for sure, he finna take his gist. He know he facing 2 to 5, but he ain't no lottery pick. Quarterback the whole play on the ground, he thought he was Michael Vick. He did it all for a good cause, nigga thought he was Kaepernick. Now he paying off lawyers and praying to get through all kinds. I gotta tell you the truth, cause I know you don't hear it out. I know the preacher mixed the white and green like he was from Boston. Early bird having the worm, I'm tapping in with the bosses. What you know about using margin, what you know about the bosses. I'm 10X and gotta pay back an 80 piece. I'ma double down, I don't need nobody to manage me. This ain't financial advice, but I keep some XRP. Folks make a killing just on cover the pain. Crazy to think this lifestyle we live, folks gon' ever be the same. You can give it your all and it still ain't enough.
This narrative is being promoted on Facebook and X and everywhere. And you know who is the first person to push this out there? Milo Yiannopoulos. Milo was the first person to push the idea that it might have been a groyper. Milo, who has also conspicuously gained 200,000 followers on X in the past 12 hours. Does that sound normal? Milo, who Elon Musk replied to on Twitter, framing me as a Fed twice in July. Who Eric Prince, who is in bed with all these people like Ehud Olmert and the Israelis and Palantir and all of it. Eric Prince replied to Milo on Wednesday when he said, we need to get Eric Prince to protect the president. We need Eric Prince to protect everybody. Why is this guy now conspicuously being promoted everywhere? And he was the first one to try to frame me. Here's the question. Was the assassination of Charlie Kirk regime change within the online right wing? Ben Shapiro said he's going to pick up the blood-stained microphone from Charlie Kirk's cold, dead hands. Milo says, I'm coming out of retirement. Was this regime change? By the way, Milo is a Jew. Milo is a pro-Israel Jew. And if you look into his lobbying firm, he's in bed with Karen Giorno, a Zionist creature from Florida, who's tight with Susie Wiles, the campaign manager of Bibi Netanyahu. He's working with Ron Coleman. He's working with the top rabbi in Omaha, Nebraska. Those are the people in Milo's lobbying firm. This guy's gonna, so Charlie Kirk, a goy, Charlie Kirk, a questioning, disgruntled goy, is now going to be replaced by either Ben Shapiro, the Jewish Zionist, or Milo, the gay pedophile Jewish Zionist / drag queen. Anybody find that a little conspicuous? That narrative framing the Groypers came from him first, right before his conspicuous botted surge in following, his promotion by Elon Musk, among others, that now he's going to do the campus tour. And who's going to help him do that? Where's the money? Where's the sponsorship coming from? I think that's something very interesting to watch. Something very interesting to watch and pay very close attention to. Who is promoting Milo? I'd also ask the question, and maybe this goes a little bit further. Earlier in the year, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Milo, and Elon tried to frame me as a Fed. It didn't work. They said I was some federal operative. I'm the real anti-Semite. I'm a creepy Jew hater, blah, blah. That's what Tucker said. That didn't work. That backfired immensely. Charlie Kirk gets shot in the head, in the neck. And then there's this narrative coming from the same group saying it was the Groypers. Now step aside, Nick and Charlie Kirk. It's time for Ben Shapiro and Milo to take center stage. Tucker and Candace reassure us with Max Blumenthal, the Jewish leftist, and son of Sidney Blumenthal, that Charlie didn't hate Israel or the Jews. He just didn't like Netanyahu. Something's not right here. Something is not right here. Something is. And then, by the way, when I tried to defend myself, I said this on, I think, Sunday. On Sunday, I said, I'm being framed. Reuters, which is one of the preeminent newswire sources in the world, Reuters said, the guy's a Groyper. I said, hey, I'm being framed right now. Candace Owens is in my reply saying, you're making it about you. You're a victim. Well, hold on, Candace. You think the Israelis did it. If I'm being framed for it, you don't think I should be refuting that? I can't defend myself? So Milo pushed the story. I defend myself. Candace attacks me for defending myself. The whole thing stinks. It stinks. And I don't like it. And I don't know if something more is going on. You know, a plausible explanation is that, look, a power vacuum opened up and everybody's fighting to fill it now. Everybody and their brother recognizes the opportunity. The king has passed, and now everyone is rushing in to claim the crown. I get it. That's plausible. But this whole blaming it on the Groypers, yeah, that seems like the definition of a psyop. It doesn't seem like some... If this was organic, you might see one unhinged leftist say that and then everyone forgets about it. But for this to gain as much traction as it did, such that the plurality of people believe a Groyper killed him, that stinks like a psyop to frame me. And then you kill two birds with one stone. You get the disgruntled normie Charlie Kirk, and then you get the far right, you know, the real deal opposition, Nick Fuentes. And who fills the void? A new dialectic, the Jew Ben Shapiro and the gay Jew Milo. And these are going to be your options. So the old dialectic was the goy Charlie Kirk and the goy Nick Fuentes. Kirk is dead. Fuentes is framed for it. New dialectic, the Jew Shapiro, the gay Jew Milo. And I guess we're supposed to watch that show ad infinitum. By the way, that was the same show that we got in 2016. Both Breitbart alum, Milo and Shapiro, both came from Breitbart. Do you remember that? Ben Shapiro was at Breitbart until Michelle Fields got pushed over by Corey Lewandowski. Milo was the creation of Breitbart. Do you know who funded Breitbart? Rebecca Mercer. Rebecca Mercer provided the seed money to start Breitbart. Rebecca Mercer is the sponsor of Candace Owens' husband, George Farmer. Rebecca Mercer handpicked Candace Owens' husband, George Farmer, to run Parler. And she and Farmer were like this with Nigel Farage. And how did Steve Bannon wind up running Breitbart? And I like Steve Bannon. I like what he's been saying lately. But, you know, they call it Breitbart. Who is it named after? Andrew Breitbart. But did you know something? Andrew Breitbart never ran Breitbart because he mysteriously died right before it was created. Go figure. Almost exactly like Charlie Kirk in some ways. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Dangerous times, cloak and dagger stuff, shadowy stuff. I don't like any of these people. I don't trust them. And you know what else? Milo, not fucking American. You will never be American, you Jewish cocksucker. You will never be American. Candace Owens' husband, not American. Go the fuck home. Elon Musk, not American. None of these people are American. I don't like them. I don't trust them. They're trying to frame me now, all of a sudden. Trying to get us to fight the left, trying to get the left to kill me. Elon said it was attempted murder that people are posting people's addresses on Twitter. Where was that energy when my address, which was spread by Milo, was all over Twitter for weeks and got 50 million views and someone tried to murder me? Where was that energy then? Now it's attempted murder. These people have been trying to kill me and frame me and discredit me for the past 15 months. And this Groyper framing, this Groyper frame job feels very similar to all the rest of it, and I don't like it. So be on high alert because there's a lot of misdirection, a lot of deception, a lot of dishonesty.
Motherfucker, we been on high alert. Motherfucker, I'm on high alert with you right now. What are you talking about? We been on high alert with your ass. We got fatigue, frankly. Let me go to this clip real quick.
Get up out of there quickly, man. Probably about 20 more minutes. Shout out to Kyle Kalinske. Israeli official arrested for pedophilia in the U.S. Then he's released right away.
So crazy when I first, that has to be fake. That's just too perfect. This is too perfect. But no, it turns out to be true. So look at this. This is from The Guardian. Israeli government official arrested in Nevada in internet crimes against children sting. So this guy, who by the way works directly underneath Netanyahu, okay, he gets caught basically soliciting a minor for sex. It's pedophilia. And he gets arrested and then he gets immediately released. Immediately. This is a crime that the punishment is up to 10 years in prison. He gets arrested, he is immediately released. An Israeli government cybersecurity official was reportedly arrested recently by Las Vegas police and other authorities in Nevada who were conducting an undercover investigation aimed at online users seeking to sexually prey on children. Tom Artyom Alexandrovich, 38 years old, faces felony charges of luring a child with a computer for a sex act alongside several other suspects who were apprehended during the 2-week sting operation. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department said in a statement published on Friday, he has since been released from custody on $10,000 bail after an initial court appearance, records show, and returned to Israel. As first reported by the news site Mediaite, a publicly posted screenshot of Alexandrovich's page on the LinkedIn professional networking platform described him as the executive director of the Israel Cyber Directorate, an Israeli government agency under the purview of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office. Other information online attributes the same position to Alexandrovich. So Netanyahu comes out and releases a statement. He goes, yeah, a little something happened, but he came back to Israel. No big deal. Look the other way. And he makes it seem like, no, he wasn't even arrested, bro. He just had a thing, and now he's here, and it's fine. And I didn't intervene at all in any way, shape, or form. But in reality, he was arrested. We know he was arrested. We have a bunch of people who can attest to that fact. And, of course, now the speculation is, not only did Netanyahu intervene, but you also had the Trump regime intervene as well. That's the speculation. Now, you have some people saying that that's been proven, but the source is a little sketchy to this point. But then again, I mean, logical deduction, it seems like somebody at the high level in the U.S. government would have had to intervene, right? In a similar way to how Jeffrey Epstein got his little fucking sweetheart deal. Now you have a pedophile getting caught red fucking handed, but since he works directly underneath Netanyahu, they go, let the pedophile get away with it. So let me understand this right. An Israeli can come into our country and try to diddle little American kids and then gets to go free, no problem whatsoever. And we're supposed to be okay with that. I mean, when you listen to the facts of the case, it sounds like an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory, right? It sounds like that, but then you have reputable sources all over the place going, that all actually happened, bro. Like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. It fucking happened. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. All right, they say, 2 things you can't escape at Black Hat 2025, the relentless buzz of generative AI and the sound of Hebrew in every corridor. Alexandrovich wrote in part in an accompanying post invoking an abbreviation for large language models and referring to one of Israel's largest cities. The post continued, the key takeaway, the future of cybersecurity is being written in code and it seems blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares. So that was on his LinkedIn page, and his LinkedIn page has since been deleted. He deleted it. The Israeli news outlet Ynet reported on Wednesday that the U.S. had detained an employee of the National Cyber Directorate for interrogation while he was representing his country at a professional conference. That employee then returned to his hotel and flew back to Israel 2 days later. So that's a lie. He was arrested. He was arrested. He wasn't interrogated. He was arrested. Quote, Israeli officials downplayed the incident, saying it carried no political implications and was resolved quickly. Ynet reported without naming Alexandrovich or mentioning that he had been arrested in connection with a felony charge leveled against him by Nevada law enforcement officials. Quote, the reasons for the questioning remain unclear but may relate to the employee's conduct. That's a lie, again, from Israel. We know why he was arrested. Ynet reported early on Saturday evening, U.S. Eastern Time, that Alexandrovich was on leave from the Cyber Directorate by mutual decision. The outlet also said that the Cyber Directorate claimed the earlier information about Alexandrovich was accurate based on what had been provided to the agency. Media reported that Netanyahu's office issued a statement denying that the employee in question had ever been arrested. Quote, a state employee who traveled to the U.S. for professional matters was questioned by American authorities during his stay, blah, blah, blah. Again, that's a lie. That's a total lie. Nevada's Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force helmed the operation, which resulted in the arrest of Alexandrovich and 7 other men in the city of Henderson, which is near Las Vegas. All of the suspects believed they were meeting minors when undercover officers instead confronted and arrested them. The arrested men were all brought to jail after being taken into custody, said the statement from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, which participated in the operation alongside local, state, and federal law enforcement officials. Among the other suspects was Las Vegas Redemption Church pastor Neil Harrison Creasy, Of course. So you have a church guy, too. The local CBS Philly reporter. A church official told the station that Creasy resigned shortly after being released from jail on a $10,000 bond. Under Nevada law, luring a child with a computer for a sex act can carry between 1 and 10 years in prison. This guy's now free. He's back in Israel. He wasn't even in custody for a day. Somebody made a decision at some very high level, let him go. And they let him go. I would love, what we need are the police officers in question or the people who did the investigation, the detectives, whatever, the people who did the sting operation. We need some of them to come out on the record. Go talk to the media. Go tell the truth as to what happened here. Because this stinks to the high fucking heavens. To the high heavens. And again, what you're saying effectively is what? There's a Trump. If you're in Netanyahu's circle and you're from the Israeli government, you have a Trump card, pun intended, to get away with child sex crimes. And our president, who himself is implicated in child sex crimes, might intervene in order to let your ass go. Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ. Who else? Nobody else would get this kind of special treatment, right? Can you imagine a scenario? Somebody who works in an agency just underneath the Mexican president. Do you think that if Claudia Sheinbaum called the U.S. and said, hey, I know one of my guys was just caught as being a pedophile, but free him and send him back home?
Hell no. Hell no. Oh, my boy Truth Live. Oh, yeah, let me go ahead and wrap it up. I gotta go catch that.
I have to say, one of the creepiest things about the Trump regime is the way that they try to bend reality to whatever they want it to be. And we've seen that quite a bit. I mean, what he did with the Bureau of Labor Statistics, where he took out the person who gave him information he didn't like and put in a hack who's going to lie to him about the job numbers. Also, he wants to get rid of the quarterly reports for jobs because he knows that the numbers are going to be bad. So he wants to stave it off and do it less often. This is just crazy stuff. This is just like Tin Pot Dictator, Banana Republic type stuff. This is like Emperor who wants to just lie brazenly in your face type stuff. Well, guess what? We have another example of that. 404 Media says the following. DOJ deletes study showing domestic terrorists are most often right-wing following Charlie Kirk's assassination and the Trump administration's promise to go after the radical left. A study showing most domestic terrorism is far-right was disappeared. So this is how they treat information. If there's something that makes them look bad, if there's something they don't like, if there's something they disagree with, even though the data shows the opposite is true, just delete it, just hide it. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Yeah, some people might write a couple articles on it. Who cares? How many people are going to read that article? Less than 1 million people. There's over 300 million people in the country. And then we can just go out there. Trump can repeat it 80 times that the left is violent. It's always the left. It's the left. It's the left. It's never the right. It's never the right. And then they try to shape reality and mold reality into what they want it to be. So here's what they say. The Department of Justice has removed a study showing that white supremacists and far-right violence continues to outpace all other types of terrorism and domestic violent extremism in the United States. The study, which was conducted by the National Institute of Justice and hosted on a DOJ website, was available there at least until September 12th. September 12th. According to an archive of the page saved by the Wayback Machine, Daniel Malmer, a PhD student studying online extremism at UNC Chapel Hill, first noticed the paper was deleted. The Department of Justice's Office of Justice Programs is currently reviewing its website and materials in accordance with the recent executive orders and related guidance, reads a message on the page where the study was formerly hosted. During this review, some pages and publications will be unavailable. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. Shortly after Trump took office, he issued an executive order that forced government agencies to scrub their sites of any mention of diversity, gender, DEI, and forbidden words and perceived notions of wokeness. The executive order impacted every government agency, including NASA, and was a huge waste of engineers' time. We don't know why the study about far-right extremist violence was removed recently, but it comes immediately after the assassination of conservative personality Charlie Kirk, accusations from the administration that the left is responsible for most of the political violence in the country, and a renewed commitment from the administration to crack down on the radical left. And they're literally doing that. They're trying to investigate any right-wing groups, any left-wing groups. They're trying to take them down. They're trying to make this country a one-party state. Now, by the way, what's the reality? Well, you guys already know. I've showed you this before. This is the Cato Institute study on it. Murders by political ideology since 1975, excluding 9/11 because that wasn't a domestic terror attack. That was a foreign terror attack. But you have right-wingers killed 391, Islamists killed 143, and the left only killed 65. And by the way, these numbers are still a little off because somebody went through them and found out that they added Ted Kaczynski in the left-wing portion of it, and they added a couple other people that really don't fit there into that portion. So this isn't even perfect. It overstates how much left-wing violence there is, but it goes to show you, it still puts in context and perspective just how different the reality is. How about this one? Since 2000, right-of-center perpetrators committed 82% of injurious political assassinations. 82%. Both of the graphs above only look at violent events where the primary target was a political figure, but political killings in general show the same trend. Since 2000, about 90% of political killings came from the right, mostly Nazis and Islamists. So the low number I've seen in these studies is 70% left-wing violence, the high or right-wing violence, excuse me. The high number I've seen is 90% right-wing violence. So that's what it is. They're going to lie about it. They're going to hide it. They're going to try to, bullshit you from now until the end of time. But that's the reality. But this is what they have to do to try to justify and rationalize this massive crackdown that they're engaged in now on the left and on liberals. I mean, now we're at the point where even if you mildly criticize Charlie, they are going to try to get you fired. They have that big doxing database that they set up, the right setup, and they're trying to get people fired. They're trying to get people, threats against people and things of that nature. And they're not stopping. They view this as a righteous crusade, and they really believe in eye for an eye type stuff, which is why there were, 5 different bomb threats to HBCUs. There was a bomb threat as well against the DNC. We had those cases in Mississippi where there were black men who were hanged, and, the officials say, oh, no, it was suicide, nothing to... It literally happened immediately after the Charlie Kirk killing, and it also happened immediately after that MAGA rapper, Forgiato Blow, released a video literally explaining... step by step how to do a lynching. And then 2 black guys in Mississippi get lynched. So, really not good. Really not good, y'all. But there we have it. There's nothing they won't do to try. This is why I tell you guys, they are the ultimate postmodernists. They are right-wing postmodernists. What is a postmodernist? They don't believe in objective truth. They believe in my truth, right? I get to craft my own truth. And this is what Trump does. He makes his own reality. He lives in it in his mind. Even if he knows it's not true, he repeats it 17,000 times over to make the...
Life taken, riding on a train by a nigga when she's rapping Black Lives Matter. But you triggered by this song, tell me which is sadder. Big tall tree and a short piece of rope, hang 'em up high and sundown. Leave her life taken, riding on a train by a nigga when she's rapping Black Lives Matter. But you triggered by this song, tell me which is sadder. Big tall tree and a short piece of rope, hang 'em up high and sundown. Leave her life taken, riding on a train by a nigga when she's rapping Black Lives Matter. But you triggered by...
Nobody worry about none of that shit. Jit cosplaying, he got his fake ass army fatigue on, like he trying to be Rick Ross. Jit dressing like a Miami, Florida nigga. Like, this whole shit is just a goofball shit. The nigga Forgiato Blow. If I seen him in person, I'd probably slap the shit out of his fat ass too. That's what's so funny. He'll probably try to ask me for a free blunt or something. He like one of them fat boys don't never got no trees to roll up. But I'm out of here, man.